Okay, green belt locks. Green belt locks, first thing we're going to do is we're going to look at some other attacks. Someone's going to grab me by the elbow, the shoulder, and the chest. And then first I want to check if I can apply the basic locks you already learned, and then how I can apply them. Yeah? Which limitations do I now have? After that, we're going to add a lot of new locks at once. There's like a lot of new locks you have to learn, and we'll go through these as well. And then look when, how can I apply these locks. Let's first look at some of the elbow grabs. So David, if you can come please. So, when David grabs my elbow, first thing you should notice, look, when he grabs my wrist, the actual distance between us is about 2 arms length. So that gives me quite a lot of space to maneuver in. But when he grabs my elbow, now suddenly I'm missing the distance of half a arm. So the arrest lock, can I make that one? If I step sideways, 45 degrees, maybe try to pull him a little bit, I can use this arm up, get under, and hey, the arrest lock still works. Now let's go to the inside-outside wrist lock. 1, 2, oh, this one becomes a little bit, I have to grab. Wouldn't be my first choice, not even my second choice. So I think that one doesn't really work well against a elbow grab. The outside-inside techniques, if he grabs, I want to go for the wrist throw. 1, 2, 3. Doesn't really work well. How about the figure 4 lock? Maybe 1, maybe get it over here. No. 1 here, 2, 3, 4. Maybe I can get it to work, but it's a bit of a hassle. And now we get the clockwise lock, so the elbow lock and the S lock. 1, 2. Oh, the elbow lock doesn't seem to give me any problems. How about the S lock? 1, 2. Oh, if I adjust it a little bit, sure, the S lock is still possible. Outward wrist lock, maybe? Outward wrist? No, that one's not going to work for me, not straight away. Then the crossed arms lock. 1, maybe grab here. 1, step in. 2. Oh, the crossed arms lock doesn't give me any problem. I can apply that one directly. Now let's go for the shoulder grab. So with the shoulder grab, now the distance between us is just 1 arm's length. 1, arrest lock. Can I do it? Oh, it becomes tricky. Maybe if I take him out of balance really well. Oh, hey, actually, I end up in the crossed arms lock. Again, the inside-outside wrist lock is not going to work. The outside techniques, I wouldn't go for those. But 1, 2, hey, an arm bar, no problem. S lock, 1, 2, no problem. Him grabbing here and then going for an outward wrist lock here, with his hand sticking out there, wouldn't be my first choice. We already saw this, that the crossed arms bar, and maybe I have to use this one here. I can stick my finger in his elbow here to make his arm bend, but oh, maybe a little bit wriggling, but then I will get the technique to work. So the next one's chest grabs. Okay, 2 ways to grab him on chest. Either he grabs and then he pushes here, or he grabs and he tries to pull me in. What we don't do is when he pushes, is that I'm going to push as well. Or when he's going to pull, is that I'm resisting his pull. No, when he pulls, I go in. If he pushes, I follow. So that's lesson number 1. So let's say he pushes. One more thing, if he pushes, I'm just going straight. Usually if he pushes and I'm going to the side, look, it becomes easier to make a technique. And then I can go to the side 2 ways. I can say he pushes, I'm going to this side, or I'm going to this side. So either I end up on his outside, or I end up on his inside. If he pulls, I usually just go forward. This, I'm really stepping into him. If I can go out, sure, you can try it. So let's say he pushes, stepping out, under, hey, suddenly the inside-outside wrist lock has become available again. Because when I do this technique, I usually already put it against my chest. So if his wrist is against my chest, sure, 1, 2, why not? I already have the lock. The outside-inside locks can be a little bit tricky, but if I set them up, 1, 2, go down, this one suddenly becomes available again. But look, if he grabs and he pulls me in, now his arm is bent, it's near to impossible to make an elbow lock or an S lock. But if he pushes, look, his arm is already straight, 1, 2, no problem. Or moving to the inside, 1, 2, no problem. And I can convert it into the S lock as well. If he grabs really strong and I'm trying to attempt here an outward wrist lock, it's not really going to help. But if he, at the moment, he pulls me, and if I react at the good time, here, getting as far, 1, 2, step through, sure, I can make the outward wrist locks, no problem. Okay. Now let's look at the new locks. The first one, he grabs me at the chest, and we call this one the thumb lock or the thumb press. 1, here's his thumb, putting my hand on top, and I'm pushing his thumb inside, which usually hurts a lot. But not just standing here, out of his line. So here is his power line. If I'm just going to push against, probably he can resist. If I'm stepping to the side and then push, or step to the side and then push, now I can apply the outward wrist lock again. So we talked about stacking of locks. Sometimes you can use one lock to set up the next one. Next lock, the escort lock. We're going to do it from a parallel wrist grab. I'm going under and grabbing. And while I do this, I bring this one in, step through, and now I've got his wrist here. I have to be on the ridge of his knuckles and move it in here, or this hand here. If you got your thumb here very close to his wrist, now my thumb is actually blocking his wrist from bending. So I want to get it out, or I want to get it near here. Maybe this one here. You can push his head away and you can escort him to the police station. The next one, against a parallel wrist grab again. Flex the wrist. 1, 2. Not on the fingers. If I just do it on the fingers, nothing really happens. But here, behind the knuckle line, and push. Maybe we can use that one against another grab as well. So maybe if he grabs here, 1. Look, I used that before. 1, setting it up. Here now I'm flexing his wrist. Maybe then I can get under and do another lock. Again, so this is sometimes a great setup for other techniques. Next one, twist the arm, bend the wrist. Again, parallel grab, please. 1. So twist the arm, bend the wrist. Again, this is a great setup. I can kick, or I can use it for my elbow lock. I can use it for my S lock. If he grabs here, 1, I can step, turn the arm, bend the wrist, and then continue into another lock. Reverse elbow lock. He grabs here. Okay? So the normal elbow lock, I'm standing on the outside. With the reverse elbow lock, I'm standing in front of him. I can do it against an elbow grab. The wrist grab is no problem. 1, 2. Here, grabs my shoulder. 1 over here. Another one against the shoulder is like the normal elbow lock is when I'm here, first get under, and then go. Here, a normal wrist lock, normal elbow lock for you. Another one, cross wrist grab, knee to the elbow. I'm starting my normal elbow lock, but instead of using my arm, I'm using my knee. Be careful, well, first of all, be careful for your partner. Yeah, you're putting a lot of weight in this lock, but what we sometimes see 1, 2, and then people bring it up and they're here. I cannot put any pressure into the lock right now, but 1, 2, forward, then I can actually put my weight into the lock. The next one, the elbow break. Cross grab, let's set it up with a flex. So I'm starting with the flex technique, get in and break here. Or if he grabs here, 1, move it out, 1, step in, break. Be careful here, the moment I'm standing up, it's going to hurt a lot. Cross wrist grab again, the elbow wrap. 1, I'm going to wrap my arm around. Usually I'm going to grab my own jacket here and push out. And maybe I can put some flex into it as well. Yeah. Then here, the arm wrap. It's a favorite of many people. Step out, maybe hit, but you don't have to hit. 1, maybe I want to try the outward wrist lock, but it doesn't work. Getting the other hand over, stepping in, stepping through, and locking. Now pushing away his head. Let's look at that one more time. So here, don't try it from the front, doesn't work. Outside, maybe hit or just get it over. So if you just can get your hand over, 1, step through and bring your hand up and push the face away. The last one, a little bit difficult. It is the rotation lock. 1, counter grab, and getting in. When we use this, and that's kind of important, you've learned the lateral block, the outside block, also like the forearm strike outside. Let's say if he grabs me here, if I push my arm in, into his neckline, so let me show it from the other direction here. If I push in here, now if he tries to come at me, he's putting his neck into my arm. He doesn't like that. So this is quite a good lock. Somebody grabs you, look, and you're going forward. So he grabs, yeah, and you're going forward. Doesn't matter how he grabs you. He tries to grab, I'm going forward. Yeah? He tries to grab me, I'm going forward. Putting my forearm in the side of his neck. And now I can control his neck here. Pull it back, 1, 2. And now the rotation lock is 1, right, turn the arm over the shoulder and then forward, and he rolls out of it. A common mistake with this lock is where people, let me show it from this direction, so they're putting it just in this direction. There's like no rotation of the arm, just this. This opens me up for a lot of problems, something you don't want. So you want to stand here, 45 degrees that way. Okay? So these are the locks you have to know for green belt. So we added a lot of locks, really a lot of locks, so practice them. Not all locks are suitable against all attacks. So sometimes you can use one lock to set up the other lock. Okay? So just practice a lot with it. I'm sure your teacher will do it too. The most important thing we want for green belt is that you show you are comfortable attacking or defending yourself when you're attacked from the front, be it on the wrist, the elbow, the shoulder, or the chest. Now let's look at the first throws, green belt throws.